Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever Silicon Valley thinks we are this week. Welcome to Chophouse News Tonight, where the steak is rare, the news is raw, and my patience for this country is almost entirely gone. I'm your host, Gerald Scroggins, and I've officially run out of duct tape to hold my soul together. So, let's dive headfirst into the cultural dumpster fire, shall we? In today's installment of What the Hell Happened to Masculinity. Kanye West, once hailed as a visionary artist, a so-called genius, and at one point a born-again Christian with a choir full of robes and redemption, has reportedly confessed to having had gay experiences. Let's review the journey, shall we? He started as a self-declared gangster philosopher, then pivoted to Sunday service savior, buying up ranches and preaching abstinence in between Yeezy launches. Then came the Nazi cosplay era, where he wore a gimp mask and praised Hitler on live streams. And now we're doing Kanye After Dark. And look, I don't care what people do in their own time, but when a man who once claimed to be a soldier for Christ suddenly turns around and says, "Oh, by the way, I've had a few experimental sleepovers," that's not a revelation. That's a confession that you never stood for anything to begin with. From thug to preacher to Nazi to bisexual bedtime blogger. Ladies and gentlemen, American culture in freefall, and Kanye is just the canary in the coal mine. In other news, Pope Francis, former head of the Catholic Church and part-time NPR correspondent, has died at the age of 88. And while I'm not here to mock the dead, let's not pretend this guy didn't spend the last 10 years turning the Vatican into a liberal arts college, climate change sermons, capitalism rants. "Who am I to judge?" he asked. Well, buddy, you were the Pope. That was literally your job. Don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Catholics, but Francis made it his mission to make the church palatable to brunch atheists and rainbow flag Twitter accounts. And now, the College of Cardinals gets to choose a successor, which I'm sure will be decided by a mix of white smoke and a Google diversity audit. Rest in peace, Your Holiness. May your replacement believe in God and not the steady march of progress. You'll never see me shedding a single tear over a dead communist. And finally, because we haven't reached the bottom of the cultural trench yet, tech companies have launched AI-powered grief simulators. That's right. Can't let go of a dead loved one? Just upload their Facebook messages and the algorithm will cobble together a chat version of them. You can now have a deep, spiritual conversation with your mother's ghost, while scrolling past ads for online sports betting and singles in your area. Somewhere out there, a guy is crying into his phone, while his dead dad's chatbot reminds him to buy a premium subscription. We used to bury the dead and remember them with honor. Now we outsource mourning to a machine that thinks love is spelled with emojis. But sure, nothing dystopian about having Siri roleplay your dead wife while you cry into a microwave burrito. If this is progress, I'll take regression with a double whiskey and a landline phone. And that's your top headlines. 3 stories, 1 theme. The world's lost its mind, and I'm too tired to really care. Up next, Rhonda Manleigh goes to fat camp. Or is it just suburban America? Stay tuned to find out.
Did you or someone you love work for Clown Corp between the years 1992 and 2021? You may be entitled to compensation for toxic levels of glitter inhalation, balloon-related trauma disorder, inexplicable hatred of small children. Symptoms may include reflexive flower squirt eye, soul-crushing depression, and an irrational fear of red noses. If you or a loved one have suffered from Clown Corp's Laugh or Die employee policy, you're not alone. Call 1-800-SAD-CLOWNS. You don't have to juggle your trauma alone.
At Krusty Blusty and Associates, we take your funny business seriously. Justice is no laughing matter. Call today.
standing in Whispering Cedars, a master-planned community outside of Crumpston Falls, where HOA fees are high, body fat is higher, and the newest neighborhood craze is competitive pharmaceutical weight loss, also known as the Great American Fat Off. Here in Whispering Cedars, forget dieting, forget cardio, and definitely forget self-control. The only thing shrinking faster than waistlines is the insulin supply. Residents are turning to Ozempic, Wegovy, and even an illegal, experimental German injection called Slinktrazone, which may be methamphetamine, but no one's entirely sure.
I used to eat when I was sad, but now I just cry and scroll Zillow for houses I'll never afford. It's really helped.
The Neighborhood Competition awards points based on how fast you drop weight, how creatively you document it on social media, and how aggressively you lie about it to your friends.
I told my buddies I'm doing CrossFit. I haven't lifted anything heavier than a vape pen in 6 months.
Astonishing.
I love my new body. I just wish I had the strength to walk to the mailbox.
Girl, you crazy. In the end, it's not about fitness. It's about winning. And if you can't lose weight, you can always gain debt from the injections and claim body positivity come summer. Reporting from America's most delusional suburb, I'm Rhonda Manleigh, trying not to vomit from musty abandoned gym fumes. Back to you, Gerald.
Thank you, Rhonda, for another eye-opening report. I wish my wife Janice would enter the Great American Fat Off. I regret to inform the audience that there will be no weather report tonight. Lizzie Smart is in recovery after a much-needed brain transplant. Anyway, I'm Gerald Scroggins, reminding you to lock your doors, hide your bourbon, and if your kid says they want to be a content creator, change the Wi-Fi password and hand them a shovel. Good night, America. Sweet dreams.